What's good, everyone? This is BNK Big Nasty Kail here, and this is Technology Tree Episode 5. This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you guys my thought process and how I go about stretching technology as far as I can. And that's what the Technology Tree is about, seeing where it can take you. In Episode 1 of the Technology Tree, one thing that I said was through experimentation, we come up with an understanding. And with that understanding, we come up with technology. Power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. I've always liked that phrase. Let's take a look at the setup. It's Feng Shui engine only, and it's a fake cross-up. Meaning, if Ryu tries to block this as a cross-up, he will get hit by it. He has to block it as if Juri's going to land in front, even though she lands behind him. What's happening is that you're canceling the sweep into a light pinwheel, and you're jumping in with a cross-up hard kick. Again, Ryu must block this as if she lands in front. In this case, must block toward the right. Now that we've defined the setup, I want to know what's the most damage we can get off of this setup. Feng Shui engine's not so clear cut. Certain strings only work on a certain character. Certain strings only work if you start off with a certain normal. Some normals cannot be strung together if they're crouching or if they're standing. So it becomes a little bit execution heavy, but mostly knowledge heavy. It's going to be the most damage I can get off of an overhead with one fireball using 2 bars for the whole combo. Now before we start, I just wanted to say that one of the reasons why I want to do this is to show you the difference between starting your combos off with lights with Feng Shui engine and using the heaviest attacks that you can, and the difference in damage that you get from doing so. Now one might look at the damage I'm doing on this setup and might say, well, that's a lot, Kail. What more do you want? I want the most that I can do on it. I want the absolute biggest damage that I can do with one setup. 300 damage is typical for a Feng Shui combo, but what happens if you take out those lights? It goes from 300 to almost 350. 50 damage could be the difference between a loss and a win. Moving forward, I came up with some theories. You should try to use your heaviest attacks in your combo to maximize your damage. The standing close hard kick should hit twice. The second hit does the most damage. And the crouching hard punch is fickle, however, it's important to hit that move. I start by testing the damage of strong into roundhouse. This string works and gives me 263 damage. Strong roundhouse crouch fierce does not work, so I switch it. Strong crouch fierce roundhouse works, but the second hit of roundhouse whiffs. I decide not to use the fierce and a roundhouse in the same combo. So looking at the damage of just using one of those normals, we'll see the difference. Using roundhouse nets 263, using crouch fierce 255. This is nice because after the fireball, we're fairly close and we can continue our combo very easily. Now that we have the first part down, can we link crouch fierce into the fireball? This will cut down on a lot of the damage scaling. As you can see, we're pushed too far back, so I decided to try to use crouch fierce instead of close roundhouse. It also does not work. I must conclude that we have to use a strong after the fireball, 1 to move ourselves forward, and 2 so that we can hit the crouch fierce. After the fierce, I use a sweep, and beautiful, it works for a cool 397. One more time, I just want to go through and show you guys what the combo looks like and the damage. It's about 400 damage off of an overhead, and that's pretty good for an ultra. Now I want to show you guys what the damage would have been if I put a low forward in that combo. We'll see that it's less than if I just went with the strongest attacks. As you see, this does 402. Wait, that can't be right. 402? So the damage increased when I added the low forward? This goes against my theory, so I think I need to take a look at this further. If we test the first part one more time, we actually net 295 with the low forward. Alright. What if we add low forward to the second part? Will this work? Nah, the crouch fierce whiffs. Alright. What if we reverse the forward and the strong on the second part? Nah, the strong just whiffs completely. So adding low forward definitely does help the damage output in this combo. This is a prime example of why experimentation leads to a better understanding. Moving forward, it's time to look at post-jumping combos. The one I usually use is strong roundhouse pinwheel, FADC, strong roundhouse pinwheel, which does 443, which is very good for the damage. But keep in mind, I want the most damage that I can get off of this combo, so let's see what we can do with it. Let's see what happens when I add strong and a hard attack. Strong crouch fierce whiffs completely. So let's try roundhouse into crouch fierce. Crouch fierce will whiff, unfortunately. Since we're jumping in with a hard attack, we can lead out the strong. Let's see what happens. Crouch fierce to roundhouse does not give me the second hit. As I've said, the second hit is very important. So let's switch it up. Let's do the roundhouse first. And wow, that does hit and it does damage. Applying what we just learned, let's see what the damage output is like. After the FADC, strong to roundhouse pinwheel, it's going to give us 473. Can we do more off of that? Can we use the roundhouse crouch fierce after the FADC? Yes, it works, and it does 498 damage. That's excellent damage. Let's take a look at how the damage looks when you put together the first and second part. Remember, after the sweep, you go for a jump in, and that starts a new combo, resetting the damage scaling. So off of that mix-up, it looks like we're taking 9/10 of Ryu's health. That's incredible damage for just one mix-up. If you look at the numbers that we get on the second part, it's not exactly 498. However, it's because Ryu is close to death, and that affects the damage scaling. Still, really good damage. If you think about it, when you use Feng Shui Engine, the character is rarely at 100% health. So if you use this setup into that combo, at any time you can probably kill a character because they're not going to be at full health. This is the damage just off of one throw into the setup. These are 100% ideal situations, however, it's important to know what your best combos are at a certain point. It's also important to experiment in how to go into these kind of mix-ups. I'm not here to tell you how to play, rather what you can do in a match. So experiment and find things out for yourself. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. You can contact me on Twitter at KailKun, Kailkun, or facebook.com/artistbydefault. This is a different type of video than I usually do for Technology Tree. However, I hope it was very fun for you guys to watch. It was a lot of fun for me to make, and again, I learned a lot doing so. So with that being said, go in peace and serve the Queen. All thanks be to Jury. Peace out, guys.